Hey, what's going on, everyone? This is Mike Kollin at correctfemalecode.com. Alright, so this series of videos, I'm going to talk about how different podcasts, they're very well-intentioned and very well-meaning people, but what you tend to find is you get the women saying one thing and the men saying the other, and they both say, "You're wrong, I'm right." But if you're not getting laid, if you're not in a happy relationship, you're both wrong. Now, I've been teaching this for over 30 years. My clients will walk out the door understanding women better than Tony Robbins, better than all the love and relationship experts on the planet. That is a fact. That is not my opinion. This course will rip the lid off your head and you will understand women for the first time in your life. So it's like the blind leading the blind. They both mean well, but they literally are doing the absolute worst possible thing. They get in arguments and fights. So on the one hand, you got the woman saying, because that's all guys want. All guys want is pussy. Here's the thing. She is correct. And she's going in the right direction, but she stopped too soon. So now he says, watch this. Good comeback, by the way. Only want pussy. Only want sex from women, well, is because that's all that women have to offer. And all of a sudden, all the guys are like, "Ooh, got her, burn." Well, that's what everyone's doing, is burning each other and hurting each other. And guess what? These people don't have sex. Now, as I've been saying, men and women completely, radically misunderstand each other because we are literally neurologically wired in the opposite direction for everything. And I mean everything. Number one, romance. The way a man romances a woman is not the way a woman receives romance. The way a man loves a woman is not the way a woman receives love. She can't neurologically receive it in the male way. The way a man tries to seduce a woman is not female seduction. It's male seduction. He's trying to use male seduction to seduce a woman. Now, I'm going to prove something to you in this video about what she said about how all men want is pussy. It's true, but there's another answer that's going to shock you. Alright, so number one, there's a reason why women are pissed, and I mean fucking pissed the fuck off. And they're right, by the way, and I'm going to show you something. You'll be like, shit, I did not know that. Once you see that, you're going to be like, oh yeah, I'd be pretty pissed too. Alright, so let me throw this piece in really quick before we get to that. So in the last video I did mention this, but I'm going to mention it quicker, and there's something I forgot to say. So the male mating system is connected to the optic nerve, which connects to the eyes, which means we are turned on visually. This is why we like visual porno. Like, we can look at a woman's naked body in a picture, in a Playboy magazine, Hustler, Pornhub. So that's what turns us on, is visual stimulation. A woman is turned on by the right brain's hidden internal language, because her mating system's nerve curves off to the right brain's communication center. Now, I had a client with us, his master's degree in communication, who just went through his second divorce and lost his second $5 million home. And he said, well, if it's all about communication, I mean, I should be good with women. I've got my master's degree in communication. No, that's logical left brain male communication. We're talking about the internal right brain language, not the external linear male language. That language literally irritates, pisses women off, and it eventually makes her want to get the fuck away from you. It literally gives women headaches. So here's the deal. Women do not know that your mating system is not wired the way theirs are. And here's the funny thing. I didn't know until I learned this in college that the female mating system is curved off to the right brain's communication center. So the way you turn a woman on is through a hidden language, through words from your mouth. And now I'm pointing to my ears. A woman gets seduced, turned on, and I'm pointing to my ears right now. And now I'm going to point to my eyes. A man gets turned on this way, and visually, and I'm pointing to my ears. I'm sorry, to my eyes. So this is one of the things when women realize that, wait a minute, you mean his mating system's connected to his eyes? I'm like, yes. They're like, oh, I thought men were just being assholes. I thought they were just being crude and rude and disrespectful. Because what do men do? We look at a woman's tits, we look at her ass, we look at her cute smile, she flips her hair and all that shit. So we like to look at a woman's body. Well, this really offends women. They think you're just being jerks, because in a million years, like, well, why would a guy do that? It's so horrible. Because that's the way our mating system is wired, visually to our eyes. Now, here's the funny thing. When women learn that, they're like, oh, I thought they were just being jerks. And all of a sudden, they're like, oh, okay, so now for the women that take my course and hear that, when a man looks at her body, she feels appreciated versus being ogled. That's a long, I'll make another video on that one. Alright, so now we're going to get to this video. So, she says, all men care about is pussy, and he says, all women care about is money. Well, there's some truth to both of them, but you're missing the actual answer, and that's the problem. They're both missing the other side of the fence. Now, here's the thing that shocks women. It blows women away. They're like, are you kidding me? I'm like, nope, this is neurological. This is the way that men are wired. Now, here's the deal, guys. This is another one of those things which I'm about to explain that women really fucking get. They hate men because they're like, oh, those fucking men, they just assholes. They don't care about us. But here's the thing. If you understood what she meant, and I'm going to get to it right now, you're going to be like, damn, I didn't know that she never received that. So there's an old wives' tale that sounds beautiful, it sounds cute, it's classy, but man, it is completely, absolutely, totally wrong. And that's what we keep hearing from all these old love relationships, our grandmothers, all these, experts in the love and relationship field, and they're telling you the absolute wrong thing. Not only is it not true, but it destroys relationships. Alright, I'm going to cut to the chase right now. Here's the deal. So when the woman says that all men care about is pussy, she literally went in the right direction, but she didn't know it. And the problem is she stopped too soon. Now, here's the funny thing that men and women will do. They will say something about the opposite sex that is true, but you stopped before you got to the door. It's almost like you drove the car up to the house and you never got out of the car and you never walked up the pathway and you never knocked on the door. It's like you stopped too soon. Alright, so here's the deal. The old wives' tale is this. The doorway to a man's heart is through food. It's through his belly. You feed a man and he'll feel loved. Not true. It's nice, but it's not true. It's not. It's a nice thing. It's a nice gesture, but it does not make you on an emotional, physical, unconscious level feel completely content, loved, and satisfied. It's nice, but I guarantee you, if you do not get the next thing that I'm saying for 10 years, and you're married to a woman sleeping in the same bed with her, you're going to be fucking pissed. And here's what it is. The doorway to a man's heart, believe it or not, is the groin. Yep, sex, your penis. Here's what it is. When a man has an orgasm, there is after sex, obviously, there's a chemical called oxytocin that is released into the bloodstream. For men, it acts as a relaxant. For women, it acts as a caffeine high, like a stimulant. But she cannot have this chemical released into her system the way you do through sex. And this is the problem that men don't understand. But wait, let's get back to her first. So here's what she said. All men care about is pussy. Well, here's the thing. What she's talking about is all men care about is sex. But when you realize why, you're like, oh. So here's what happens. After you have an orgasm and oxytocin is released into your bloodstream, not only does it relax every muscle, every nerve, and every fiber, it helps you to almost go to sleep. In fact, most men do go to sleep after sex, and women laugh, oh, that's funny. But it also pisses them off because now she's definitely not going to get what she needs. And that's going to be a shocker. But the funny thing is, it's the exact same thing that you need and you always get through sex. So when oxytocin hits that artery that's in the lower reptilian brain, it relaxes this very important artery, and the artery opens wide open because it's relaxed. And then blood flows up into the larger human brain, and thus it feeds your right brain, thus opening you up to your right brain's processor. What does this mean? It means that you are now feeling love. You are feeling something called emotional fulfillment. Women understand what that word means and men don't. And I'm going to tell you what it is right now. I just did. You know that feeling you get after you have an orgasm? It's like all the worries in the world disappear for an hour, maybe even overnight, and you just, like, your whole body is like, oh, I feel good. I can go to sleep now. It's that wonderful feeling of release and relaxation. That is what women mean when they're talking about emotional fulfillment. So when a woman says, my needs are not being met, and she says, my emotional needs, you're sitting there going, what the fuck are you talking about? Emotional needs what? This is going to shock you guys. She needs to have that same emotionally fulfilling experience that you just received through sex. The problem is she cannot do it from the groin to the heart. It does not work that way. She is not neurologically wired to receive emotional fulfillment in this way. And if she doesn't get it, she's gonna be pissed after a period of time. And here's why. As a man, why do you want sex? Yeah, it feels good, but the real reason is because you're stuck in your logical brain. You got a lot of tension. You're uptight, and you got a lot of pressure going on, and you need a release. You need to fucking relax. So after you have an orgasm, you're like, yeah, it feels great. You're just relaxed. Well, that's what oxytocin does. That's what gives you that fucking high. And it is a high. It's a chemical that's released into your entire system. And once it hits your fucking brain, you're like, oh, God, I feel great. Even your face relaxes. Your forehead relaxes. Well, here's the deal. Women are pent up too. They have this pent up tension inside their bodies and inside their head, just like you do. But the problem is they can't release it through sex. A lot of guys are like, what the fuck's this guy talking about? Imagine being married to a woman for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10 years and never having this release, never having intercourse, never having sex, not even allowed to touch yourself. But she's the most beautiful woman in the world. You're absolutely in love with her. She's the one. You married her. You're married. You own a home together. You're in bed together. But you never have sex, and because she feels content all the time. Wouldn't that frustrate you over a period of fucking time? Yeah, you'd not only that, but you'd be fucking pissed off, and after about a year, you'd start cussing her out over every little thing. You didn't take out the goddamn garbage. Let me tell you, it's not about the garbage. It's about this pent-up fucking feeling that she can't release because you refuse to give her what she needs to receive emotional fulfillment, that release, that relaxation. Because the way a woman gets it is in the opposite way that you do. And let me show you with this chart from my course. All right, first of all, look at the very top. See that left circle with an arrow pointing to the right? That's the male symbol. So that's the blue one. Now look to the right. I don't know why that's green. It's supposed to be pink. I don't know why it's green. So that's the female symbol. You got a circle, and then you got a line going down, and then you got a cross. That's the female symbol. Well, that line going down in the very original one had an arrow that was pointing down into the earth, okay? Why? Because a woman goes mental, emotional, and then sexual. Now look at him and her. So you got on the left, you got the mental, emotional, physical, and on the right in the pink, you've got mental, emotional, and physical. But look at the numbers. The numbers are in the opposite direction. Now, look at the line that goes from the top of his head, and notice how the arrow at the very middle goes over to the right. By the way, this is positive energy, the same thing as in electricity from like the PG&E or the electric factory, depending on where you live. So the energy, now you learned this, like I learned this in 9th grade science. Actually, we had an electric class in my high school. So when the energy leaves the electric factory, that's called the positive energy. It means it's going in a direction. It's called the external. So the male energy is external, okay? Now, when I mean male in this sense, I mean electricity. So in electricity, there's male and female electricity. The electricity that's going external is the male energy, and then when it gets to your home, it goes into your home like the male penis penetrates your home, and it goes into the light bulb, it penetrates the light bulb, and boom, it turns the light bulb on. Well, here's the deal about electricity if you don't know this. Electricity cannot stop. It'll build and build, and it'll fucking explode. And this is what's happening in marriages and relationships. The energy does not flow. This is what the course does. And it's exactly like what you learn in electricity class. Now let me finish. So here's the deal. There's also the return energy. So if you go to your wall and go to a lamp or some kind of electric appliance that's plugged into the wall, pull that cord out and look at it. What do you have? You've got a positive, not rod, but oh, I forget what they're called. I forget what those damn things, the little metal prongs. So you've got a positive prong, you've got a negative prong, and then you've got a grounding wire or a grounding prong. That's why there's 3 that you plug into the wall, okay? So the positive one is the one where the electricity comes in, okay? And then when it goes through the light bulb, and then it goes down the other side of the wire, and then and if you notice on the wires, the cord, there's 2 wires. One is for the incoming electricity, and then when it goes through the appliance, now the other electricity goes out. Now that's the negative. That's going back to the factory. Now the factory is receiving it. That's the female energy. Now look back at the chart. Notice how hers is number 1 at the head, number 2 at the heart, number 3 at the groin. That's sex, okay? First, a woman needs to connect with you mentally. So that means you've got to go from your head to her head. And you've got to speak in this mentally stimulating language, which I'll teach you in the course. And then, see, it's like a lockbox. In her forehead, Mother Nature gave women 2 lockboxes. One is in her forehead. When you communicate with her enough in the mentally stimulating language, it fills up this lockbox and it pops open, and now she goes down to her heart right here. Now, what happens so here's what happens. She's shifting over to her right brain, because when a woman first meets you, she does have her barrier up. She's protecting herself emotionally, so she's going to be in her forehead. She's not going to be in her right brain. Technically, she's in her left brain. So the left brain basically puts up a barrier to the right brain. This way she can't get hurt emotionally, because she doesn't know who you are. Are you a psycho? Are you a mean guy? Because she's not going to lower that emotional barrier until she finds out, well, who is this guy? Is he a dickhead? Is he a mean person? Is he going to hurt me emotionally? This is why women need to talk to you, and most guys don't get that. It's like, just because, okay, your mating system is like right now. You see a woman that's your type, that's hot, you're ready to fuck right now. You don't even need to know her fucking name. And when I explain that to women, like, wait, are you serious? There's no way. I'm like, yeah, I'm telling you, men do not need to go through this long process like a woman does, and this long process really pisses men off. The reason why, guys, is because you don't know how to do it. But don't worry, because I'm Batman, and I'm going to teach you how to do this process in the course. And it becomes a lot faster, and it really satisfies her. And once she gets satisfied, she'll satisfy you. And guess what? You don't have to spend tens of thousands of dollars on her to get laid. And on top of it, when you do get laid, she's going to be completely happy, completely satisfied, and she's going to be happy that she found you. But when you're paying for shit, she's waiting for this thing that I'm showing you in this chart. So now, let's get back to it. So here's the deal. Once you give her what we call emotionally fulfilling communication, imagine that being like a big fishbowl, and you're filling it up with lots and lots and lots and lots of words. So if you do one thing right now, just talk a lot, okay? Because she needs to connect with you through words. This is the way her mating system is wired. So once she receives emotionally fulfilling communication, enough of it, this lockbox in the number 2 area in her heart, in the emotionally area, it's like a lockbox. It pops open, and then she opens up to her groin, and now she's ready to have sex with you. And once she has sex with you, once you have an orgasm, you pop open, and then you open up to your emotional area, and now you have emotional fulfillment too. So now you both have emotional fulfillment. Now here's the funny thing. You are both trying to reach the same place. The problem is you start in the opposite side of this chart. She starts in her head and goes to the heart. You start in the groin and go to the heart. We're both trying to reach the same place. If you give her mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication first, she gets her emotional satisfaction. She gets her emotional needs met, and now she's feeling emotionally fulfilled. So now both of your needs are met, you are both content, and now she is finally happy because she finally found a man who gets it. So here's the thing that blows women away. Because this girl was almost right, but she didn't. She pulled up to the house, she stopped the car, but she didn't go out and walk up to the door and enter the house. She's right. All guys want is pussy. Why? Because sex is the doorway to a man's heart, literally. When I teach this to women, they're like, oh my God, that makes a lot of sense. Because after we have sex, he always has that look on his face like he's emotionally fulfilled and meaningful, and he's just feeling content. And you can see it in his eyes. And by the way, guys, this is why women get pissed, because you received it and she didn't. And this is why women think that you don't give a shit about them, because here they are dating you for a week, a month, a year. You keep having sex. You keep getting emotional fulfillment because it goes from the groin to the heart for you, but she can't do it. She has to receive it in this hidden right brain, internal, emotionally fulfilling language. If you don't learn how to do it in this way, she can't get that emotionally fulfilling experience. So again, I mean, imagine being married to a woman and you're with her for a year, 2 years, 3 years, and you never have a fucking orgasm. Trust me, you would be fucking pissed off too. Now here's the hard thing that men have a really hard time understanding. They're like, wait, are you fucking telling me that women get this emotionally fulfilling explosion through communication? Yes, that's exactly what I'm fucking telling you. Now here's the deal. All you have to do is get a girlfriend or a wife and have her listen to the last 5-10, probably the last 10 minutes of this communication. Not only is she going to say, yeah, this guy's 100% correct, it's going to turn her on sexually. Now here's the deal. Don't tell her that, well, she'll probably hear it if she listens to it, damn it. I was going to say, probably stop it before this point, because here's what happens. Just watch her. She's going to start getting cuddly. She's going to start wanting to touch you, because there's a lot of words that I'm saying in these videos that turn women on. And this is why a lot of women, even though I made it very clear, this is a YouTube channel for men, the majority of people that subscribe are women, because these words turn women on. And you're thinking, what words? Emotionally fulfilling, mentally stimulating. Those are fuck words. That's pornographic. Mentally stimulating in the female language literally means clitoris. You're stimulating her clitoris. Emotionally fulfilling is like the penis going into the vagina. You guys starting to catch a clue now? Here's something I want to tell you. When you take my course, you're going to look back at this guy's podcast. God bless this guy. He really does mean well. His intentions are well. And then you're going to look at all these other podcasters that are angry at all these guys. Oh, it's not fair, blah, blah, blah. You're going to be like, oh, fuck, they don't know that they don't know. You will literally look back at them and go, holy shit, they don't know any of this stuff. No, nobody does. No one's teaching this stuff. The stuff I teach in my course, no one else is teaching. Now, here's the deal. I told you the what. I did not teach you the how. Teaching you the how takes over 30 hours of training. This is a 5-6 day training, and then you're going to have to practice, and then we'll do a couple follow-ups. It depends on the guy. It could be 2, 3, 4, 5 follow-ups, etc. Until you really get it down and your brain clicks in, and all of a sudden you're like, holy shit, pulling women is easy. And if you're married, your wife is going to be in love. She will fall madly head over heels in love again. Or you can be like one of those podcasters and just complain, and call the wambulance, and freaking cry like a little baby. But the thing about it is, those guys don't know that they don't know, and they're stuck. And here's the deal. They fucking know that they're stuck, and they're trying to force women to live by their emotional fulfillment strategy. It does not work. She cannot get emotional fulfillment in that way, and therefore the relationship to her is dead. Alright, so now listen to this. This is going to be a mind blower. So here he says, well, that's all women have to offer is sex. Well, here's the deal. You've got to understand, women are looking at you from the other side of the fence in the same way. Well, that's all men have to fucking offer is money. And you're going, yeah, that's true. No, here's the deal. Money is a male value. That's a left brain logical external value. Because money buys things. The external brain is about things that are outside of your body. Like a car, like a ring, like flowers, like a restaurant. The right brain, the female brain, is connected to her mating system. So everything has to be internal, which is about words, communication, and emotional feelings and experiences. And you can't get that from a restaurant. You can't get that from flowers. But you can get it through body language and communication, the hidden right brain language. So what happens is, we are at a time where women can make their own money. And let me tell you something, even if you go back to the 1800s, the 17, 16, 15, 1400s, go back to the, say, 1950s, 60s, 1940s, women never got emotional fulfillment. Women were, because of the way the structure is, the hierarchy was, women didn't go to college. Women couldn't make $1 million a year. They couldn't become Oprah Winfrey and be worth $1 billion. Women were dependent on men. And therefore men said, hey, I pay the bills, suck my cock. And therefore she's like, well, I have to, because otherwise I don't have a place to live and I don't have fucking food on the table and I can't take care of my children. It was a fucking trade-off, but it was a miserable fucking trade-off. Again, imagine being married to a woman. Let's say she fucking cooked and cleaned, she made the bacon, and she paid all the bills and everything, but she never had sex with you. You'd be pretty fucking pissed off too. So that's what women have to deal with. They want mentally stimulating and emotionally fulfilling communication, and they want to connect in this way, and it really makes her feel satisfied. But the problem is, men, okay, right now, before you heard this video, you had no fucking clue what emotional fulfillment meant, or the meaningful communication. Meaningful communication means she gets, satisfied without, it's the same thing as you having an orgasm. It's the same thing. It opens up to her heart and gives her that, and it's like, okay, here's a good way of explaining it. So for men, the main course is sex. So what's the pre-course? Like, you know how you go out to a fancy restaurant, you first eat a salad, and then you get the main course, the steak and potatoes or whatever. So for men, the salad, the pre-course would be looking at her titties and her beautiful eyes and her mascara and her beautiful hair and her lips. Like, you want to kiss those lips, and you look at her boobies and her butt. That's like the pre-course. The main course is sex. And then after that, you have an orgasm and you're like, I'm satisfied. Just like eating a main meal, right? A big meal, the main course. For women, sex is not the main course. Sex is emotionally fulfilling communication. So the pre-meal, the salad, would be the mentally stimulating communication, including body language, but not male body language. It's not that shit that teach you in those fucking pickup articles. Here's how you be the alpha male. Oh, guys, all that stuff is pure cockamamie bullshit. When you learn how to do it in the right brain language, you're going to be fucking going, holy shit, this literally attracts. Yeah, it attracts women to you. There's a secret in my course that I'll teach you. It's very hard for men to learn. I'm telling you right now, if you're not willing to practice this over and over, don't take the course. Do not buy my book. It's going to be a waste of your fucking time. And that's going to be a waste of my time. It's just going to piss me off, and I'm just going to say, hey, go home. And I do. I fire freaking my clients if they don't do the work. So here's the deal. The whole mentally stimulating thing is the salad, and the emotionally fulfilling, the hidden way, that's the main course. So essentially, women received what you received after sex, and then they have sex. So sex is more like, it's like dessert. To a woman, it's the dessert, okay? So the main course is this hidden way of satisfying a woman, and then sex is just dessert. So it's fun for her, it's playful, it's kinky, it's all that good stuff. Here's the deal. The male brain is designed to get from point A to point B. It's always looking for a shortcut. It's because it was designed to feed the family. But when it comes to a relationship, that's a real shitty strategy. It was not meant for relationships, romance, love, or seduction. But guess what? That's what guys do. Point A to point B. Hey, Mike, give me a quick tip. Fuck that. That quick tip shit doesn't fucking work. Because if it did, you wouldn't be asking me. Because you've heard so many fucking tips in your life, it's not even funny. If tips work, you've got 1,000 of them right now. Go use them. They don't work. Tips do not work. Now here's the funny thing about my course. In the beginning, you're going to have to invest some time, because what I'm doing is I'm shifting your brain 180 degrees. You have to learn how to go to the other side. This is not easy for most men. Most men, it's difficult in the beginning, and that's the cool thing about my course. In the beginning, it's going to take hours and hours of listening, learning, understanding, and then hours and hours of practice. But then what happens is you pop open and you're like, holy shit, everything makes sense. And here's the deal. You're going to get excited. You're going to try to explain it to your buddies, but you won't know how. Your buddies are going to look at you like you're fucking nuts. Like, what are you talking about? And here's the weird thing. After your buddies have said, oh, you're an idiot, dude, that stuff sounds weird. That doesn't make any sense. All the bullshit. And they're going to talk down to you. Well, here's what's going to happen. A week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5 weeks. They're going to start seeing you talking to women at the coffee shop, and they're going to see the cashier who's engaging in conversation purposely and not trying to push you away. And they're going to kind of go, what the fuck's going on with Jim, man? What the hell's going on here? And then they're going to see a woman reach out and touch you on the shoulder. And like, wait, what the fuck is going on here, dude? And then you're going to go on a date, and then another date, and you're going to date another woman. And then they're going to come back around and go, hey, man, like, what's your secret, man? You're like, well, I was trying to tell you it's about emotionally fulfilling communication. They're gonna be like, dude, don't give me that fucking garbage. What are you talking about? So then you try to explain it to them again, and they think you're speaking gibberish, because here's the deal. This is right brain language. The male left brain cannot process this language. They can't process these concepts, or like, this doesn't make any sense. And what they really should be saying is, this doesn't turn me on. Like, yeah, dude, because you don't have a vagina, you're not a freaking woman, you're a dude. Of course it's not going to turn you on. And I'm telling you, don't waste your time, because you don't know how to teach this to the male brain. They are not going to fucking understand it. Their brain, look, the reason why this course is, how to explain this? All right, this is a course that I highly developed over the last 3 decades. It was really hard to get another guy to understand this. That's what I specialize in. That's why my course is a breakthrough course. Nobody on the planet has been aware of what this is, number one. Number two, no one's going to know how to teach this to the male brain. That's something I had to learn over years and years, especially after something I learned in NLP called modeling, and there's a bunch of other things you learn in NLP and hypnosis. I had to begin to figure out, how do I use these things in order to get the male brain to understand the stuff. So guys, I know it's a challenge. The best thing to do is buy my book, Crack the Female Code. It will blow your mind. I promise you, that book was written in a way that your brain goes, oh, you're going to have a ton of aha moments in that book. And when you take the course, you're going to have a lot more aha moments. Here's the deal. I'm going to raise the prices of both my books and my packages. My Crack the Female Code is on sale right now for $35, but I'm going to raise it back up to $60 really soon. I mean, any day now. Get it now. And also the package, the ultimate package, is going to go up to, I think, a $90 or $100. Okay. So if you want to get a deal, buy either one right now. The ultimate package is $75. Get it now before it goes up. All right, guys. I'll see you guys next video. Remember, click subscribe right now. Click that button. Click the bell. Click the like button. Make a comment, and I'll see you guys in the next video. All right, peace.